Socially responsible, environmentally friendly, and pandemic hardened. We are an industry leader with a 15-year proven track record. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
I know that the ones on the internet hide behind their anonymity, whereas my kids, some of that stuff actually means something to them. Why am I the one who gets so upset when it's some random yokel with one hand on the keyboard and the other hand on his JoJo making comments like that?
Jerry and Shannon.
You're a likable person.
Nah, it's not what the rumor is.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI.
KFI Am 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. This is the Bill Handel Show. The morning crew is here. Some of the top stories we're covering for you. New Zealand authorities are so worried about an extremist group inspired by the Islamic State. They were so upset that they were being followed, so they shot and killed him within 60 seconds of him unleashing a knife attack. So I think that's a thumbs up to the New Zealand authorities, right? The guy was on their radar. They absolutely believed that he was an imminent danger, and so they made sure that they had eyes on him 24/7, and sure enough, he tried something. He did manage to wound 6 people, by the way. This was at a supermarket, but they then shot and killed him. So he was only able to do his dastardly deeds for 60 seconds. Okay, now listen. This segment is not for immature people. It's also very much not for children. It is not for children. I'll say it one more time. This segment is not for children. If you get at me later, oh my God, I was in the car with my kid, I'm going to flip you the middle finger because I just told you 3 times. This segment is not for children. Got it? It may not be for a lot of adults. And Layla, on one hand, I'd like you to be part of this because you're a woman. Okay. But I'm warning you, you may not like this at all. You won't like it at all. Okay. Here we go. That's ample warning. Here we go. We hear about all different kinds of terrorism. You have, of course, jihadist-type terrorism. You have the kind of terrorism that was going on in Ireland and Northern Ireland. During that time, there's the Colombian rebels. There's a lot of stuff. And in South Korea, they have a problem with what they are calling, it's their words, semen terrorism. This is disgusting dudes doing you-know-what in all manner of ways and on all manner of women's property and worse. And it's a big subject over there right now because of something that happened in court. There was a guy who asked a woman out and she said no. And he did not like that very much. And so he began a campaign against her, doing things like smearing semen over her makeup, putting her toothbrush in his mouth and apparently up his nose because they found his saliva and mucus on her toothbrush. They had to go along with another group of students on a research trip, and during that trip he broke into her hotel room, he stole her underwear and did you-know-what into it. 54 different occasions where he terrorized this woman in this way. A classmate found his diary where he was writing about all the stuff that he did, and he ended up getting charged with crimes and going to court. And the judge said, that he had committed many perverted and bizarre crimes that were vomit-inducing, and that he had completely traumatized this woman's life, making it impossible for her to go on about living daily. So at least it sounds like here comes some justice, right? But then the judge said this: putting semen on her makeup, ejaculating into her underwear, putting semen into her coffee, which he did, that these are not sex crimes. These are just regular old vandalism and property damage. That's all it is. It's not a sex crime. So the guy got 3 years in prison. Because apparently over there, they have not figured out yet that this kind of stuff is in the same family as rape. It's not in the same family as keying somebody's car.
No, this is not keying somebody's car.
But that's the way it is treated. There was another case where some guy at work kept ejaculating into the tumbler, the drink tumbler of a female colleague, and he was also taken to court, and he only got a fine, and the court, in describing why what he did was wrong, focused on the fact that he had ruined the tumbler. In other words, if you have a tumbler and I come in there and I scratch up the outside of it, for example, okay, that's one thing, right? But if I do something else in there, that's a completely different thing, except in South Korea, it's not a completely different thing. It's just the same thing as if I scratched up the outside of your tumbler because I was mad at you.
Why is this a thing? Why is this a way to get back at somebody? Who came up with this idea?
I'm gonna do my best to give the understanding psychoanalytical side of it, which is that these are guys that have any number of mental problems. They might have depression, they might have anxiety disorder, they might have a compulsive sexual disorder, they might just be straight up antisocial personality disorder, and so they can't make normal relationships, and even if they do, they don't get anything out of them, and so normal interactions with people don't work, and they resort to this. Fine, I'll accept that that's what's underneath it. It doesn't mean you treat them with kid gloves. It doesn't make what they're doing any less dangerous, despicable, frightening, and horrifying. Here's the other thing, though. They got a big problem right now in South Korea. There's a backlash in South Korea against feminism. Women are having a tough time over there. And there is widespread mocking and ridiculing of women who are the victims of this kind of stuff. There was a pretty high-profile situation where somebody spread their on a woman's shoes, and a friend of hers put it on social media like, oh my God, this happened. Like, this is terrible. This happened to my friend. And almost all of the comments were making fun of the woman. People wondering, oh, how hot was she? People talking about, well, this guy certainly has a healthy sex drive. Stuff like that. So I guess if you have a society that is moving towards devaluing women and women's rights and feminism, this kind of thing is not going to be viewed as a sex crime. It's just going to be downplayed as regular old, vandalism. So that's what's going on over there.
I'm still shocked. That's disgusting.
It's really beyond the capacity of a normal person to wrap their head around how that can be the attitude about this kind of behavior.
Yeah. Oh,
and
my
you know
goodness.
what? And part of the problem is because this isn't happening to men. I guarantee you, if this was not a misogynist motivated course of conduct, but if somehow just in the culture, if you were mad at somebody, that's how you get back at them, And so every day it was women were finding this in their coffee, but guys were finding it in their coffee.
Right.
It would be handled much more harshly. But guys over there are like, well, nobody's going to do that to me. I'm a guy. I'm exempt. All right, let's get a news update from Layla Muhammad. It's KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
A person who identifies as a transgender woman has been charged in L.A. with 5 felony counts of indecent exposure for going commando at a spa near MacArthur Park.
I'm telling you, he has a penis, a full and testicle, okay? And I don't care what it's called. It's a man.
That woman confronted staff at We Spa in June. The staff defended the customer's right to be at the facility. The L.A. County DA's office says the 52-year-old customer, Darren Marager, has been a registered sex offender since 2006 for indecent exposures in 2002 and 2003. Court records show more than 40 cases of various types under his name, under Marager's name, filed across Southern California dating back at least 3 decades. Big, bulky property can't be taken from the homeless in L.A.
A federal appeals court has upheld an injunction preventing the city of L.A. from taking the stuff left by homeless people on public property. The L.A. Times reports the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals says the city ordinance violated the Fourth Amendment, which protects people from unreasonable government seizure of the property. The city can appeal the ruling to a larger panel of the Ninth Circuit. Deborah Mark, KFI News.
A crosswalk along a busy stretch of Eagle Rock Boulevard in Eagle Rock has been given a high-tech upgrade. The new high-intensity activated crosswalk is just south of Colorado Boulevard near St. Dominic School. The Hawk system, as it's known, flashes yellow to warn drivers to slow down. Then goes to solid yellow, then red. When people are done crossing, the light changes to blinking red. An outdoor museum of black art and culture will be seen by millions of people riding the upcoming Crenshaw LAX light rail line.
It's going to be a 1.3-mile cultural corridor.
Destination Crenshaw President Jason Foster says one of the first 7 artists to sign on to the $100 million project is Kehinde Wiley, known for painting former President Obama's official portrait.
We're doing over 100 public arts commissions, both 2D murals and permanent commissions. There will be sculptures and new monuments.
He says the 100 artists who will eventually take part will have ties to South L.A., and 70% of workers on the project will be hired locally. In L.A., Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Let's get a check of traffic in downtown L.A. on the 101.
You bet you're getting there. Boy, it's not easy now. Come through the Cahuenga Pass, just be heads up. Southbound, south of Vermont, from CHP, we had 3 different locations, but that's where the slowing is going to start. There's no question about it. I think once you get through about Alvarado, things will improve to the 4 level. Northbound now, coming up from the merge with the West End, North 101, very slow up to the 4 level. After that, though, things will improve into the San Fernando Valley. Now, a big problem, if you're just joined us, trying to drive through the city of Orange, North 55, we had all lanes shut down. A bit of an improvement. It's only the carpool and 2 left now, but that's half of the northbound lanes. But a severe backup through the 22. North 57 is wide open if that works for you. Even surface streets like Hudson Avenue right alongside the 55. Busy, but okay. And you can get on or back on the North 55 at Cattell and be on your way. Now, some of the other good drives, and it is kind of Friday light in spots, but one of them is the 405 now. Seal Beach all the way up to LAX. Believe it or not, you'll be in good shape. KFI in the sky gets you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
28, 32, 36, 36, 37. No, those aren't measurements. No, it's not even lotto numbers. Those are the ages of the likely starting lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers when they begin their season. And just in case you thought it couldn't get any older in basketball terms, the Lakers just signed Rajon Rondo, age 35, to come off the bench behind 32-year-old Russell Westbrook. Should be fine. Should be fine. In baseball, tonight the Angels host the Rangers and the Dodgers visit the Giants. I'm Mo Kelly, KFI Sports.
If you've been injured in an accident, hiring the right attorney matters. Sweet James Accident Attorneys have helped thousands of listeners and settled millions of dollars each month. Accident victims are not just numbers. Their stories are real, just like this one. Before her accident, a Sweet James client enjoyed spending time with her family and living a normal life. Until one day her life changed forever and she was terribly injured in a collision. The insurance company wouldn't even cover her surgeries and medical bills. Thankfully, her daughter hired Sweet James. Her team of attorneys fought hard to make sure she was able to receive all the care she needs. Sweet James was able to settle her case for $5.7 million. If you or someone you love is ever injured in an accident, don't take the gamble. Call Sweet James. Every case is different, and they can't guarantee the outcome, but it's important to get an experienced law firm on your side. Call for a free consultation at 800-500-5200. That's 800-500-5200 or sweetjames.com.
Southland weather from KFI, partly sunny by this afternoon. Highs in the 70s for the beaches, 80s for Metro LA and Inland OC, 90s in the valleys and IE. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Layla Muhammad.
I will be honoring Labor Day this year by working on a steak at Cielo and my tan at the Oasis Pool. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Legendary Beach Boy Brian Wilson, live September 16th. Get your tickets now.
Number 2.
Get a 9.5-inch fry pan when you earn 500 points on your rewards card for 6 or 7.
And the number 1 reason.
Rewards members get a Morongo spatula while supplies last.
Morongo, good time.
I want to break free.
Break free in 2022 with Norwegian's Labor Day sale. Book your cruise today and enjoy 30% off, free open bar, and much more. With our leading health and safety programs, you can cruise with the ultimate freedom on 100% fully vaccinated ships that are fully open to explore. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line. Sail safe, feel free. Ships registry to Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
It's Ford's Labor Day Sell-a-thon, and we want your trade-in. Get $3,500 trade assist cash on a Ford F-150. If your trade-in is worth $5,000, that's a total of $8,500 towards your new F-150. This is your chance to trade up to Ford. So don't wait. This Labor Day Sell-a-thon ends Monday.
Offer excludes renters. For Ford trade-in with cash, must trade in 1995 or newer vehicle to qualify. Dealer determines trade-in value. Offer valid through 9621. See dealer for details.
Learn by collaborating and exploring when you enroll at a California community college. With more than 200 career education programs at your fingertips, your future can be anything you imagine. Classes can fill up quickly, so enroll today at icangotocollege.com.
Is your business growing? Bay Alarm commercial fire and security systems are designed to change as your needs change. So you're right for now and ready for next. Go to bayalarm.com to get protected today.
ACO 28 880138.
Accident, going to be call Jacob in the morning. Call Jacob.
KFI AM 640.
iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart radio app. Good morning. It's the Bill Handel Show. He is recovering from heart surgery. Wayne Resnick here with you, and joined by ABC News entertainment correspondent Jason Nathanson. Good morning.
I'm dancing along to the music.
It is very catchy, isn't it?
Love me
All
from
right.
the dawn in the morning.
Yes. Here we go. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is a Marvel Universe movie. How does this character rank, if you will, in the world of Marvel characters, and therefore how does this movie rank in the world of Marvel movies?
I have not sat down and done a spreadsheet on the 24 Marvel movies that are in the current cinematic universe. But I will say, I really like this movie, especially in terms of introducing a character in a world that we have not seen so far in this Marvel world. Like, this is kind of, you don't have to have a whole lot of Marvel backstory and knowledge to go into this. I'm not going to say it's a standalone movie. There are references, and of course it's Marvel, so it weaves itself into the broader world of things. But we have not met this character yet, or this world yet, so we're all coming in kind of the same level. This is, the character itself was created in the 1970s at the height of the martial arts and kung fu craze of that time, and it's not a character I think most people are aware of in terms of, you know, the Hulk, Iron Man, the kind of the big ones. But it's been around for a while. And in this particular story, we first meet the character named Sean, who lives in San Francisco. He's parking cars for a living. He and his best friend, Aquafina, are just hanging out and having fun. But then we sort of realize that Sean, his real name is actually Shang-Chi, and he's the son of an ancient mystical warrior. And Dad wants him to come take over the family business, and things kind of go from there. This is a Marvel movie, so there's humor, there are great action sequences, but for the first time we see a lot of martial arts in those action sequences, which I think really refreshes it because, like I said, after 24 movies, we've seen everything before, right? So this introduces a new element into a lot of the acting, which I found really cool to watch and visually interesting.
He's the son of an ancient god.
Yeah.
So does this take place in contemporary times?
It is. Yeah, no, it's modern times. The dad is a several thousand-year-old warrior who, through the 10 rings of the title, the Legend of the 10 Rings, he's had these 10 rings, and this is not really spoiling. We learn all this stuff very quickly into it, or maybe even in the trailers. He has these 10 rings, and the rings have allowed him to have all this power and stay alive for many centuries.
Okay, so Shang-Chi is immortal also, or has a chance to become immortal?
Oh, you got to watch the movie to find out.
Okay, so that's part of like what it's about. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, this movie has some pretty good humor, I understand.
Yes.
I'm thinking specifically, and again, this doesn't really ruin anything because you already said that when we first meet this character, he's going by the name of Sean.
Yes.
There's some conversation where is it Aquafina's character is giving him a hard time because he wanted to change his name, but he just changed it from Sean to Sean, and she's kind of ribbing him about it.
Right, and the whole thing is that he's kind of gone into hiding from his dad. He's run away, and he wants nothing to do with his family. He kind of wants to live this new life and be anonymous. And so he changes his name from Sean to Sean.
So did she say something like, that's like your name is Michael, and you want to hide, and so you just change your name to Michael?
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good.
Exactly.
How are the special effects and everything compared to the really big, prominent Marvel movies?
Fantastic. I mean, if you thought, because a lot of this was filmed, they started filming just before the pandemic. And then that kind of put a pause on things, and then they came back. I think they filmed a lot of it in Australia, and maybe a little bit in New Zealand as well. But they filmed it during the pandemic. And if you're thinking, oh, well, this is a pandemic-era version of a Marvel movie, so it's not going to be as big in special effects and, destroying cities and things like that, you're wrong. They destroy all the cities that you want. It's over the top. It's also beautifully done. I think in the way that Black Panther was a significant cultural moment for comic book movies, for representation, and for Marvel, this is as well with the first Asian-led cast, but also the cultural specificity of the costumes, the settings, the lore, and it's all there, and they took very great care to make sure that they got it right, and you see that on the screen.
That's great. It sounds like it's very much not just an also-ran, lower-tier Marvel good.
Correct.
Marvel movie. Good. Okay, now, there's another Cinderella movie?
Yes.
Why?
There's another Cinderella movie, and I will say that in Shang-Chi, the star of it is played by a guy named Simu Liu, who this is his first film. He's never been in a film before. Ooh. In Cinderella, the star is Camila Cabello, who is a singer formerly of Fifth Harmony. She's a solo singer now, and she's never been in a movie before either. So this weekend, we are led by movies with people, big movies, who have never been in movies before, and I got to say, for both of them, it works really well. In Cinderella, this is a modern retelling of it. We heard a little Material Girl as we came into the segment. That is one of the set pieces from the movie. They incorporate Janet Jackson, Madonna, original songs as well, but to give it kind of a modern twist on this classic fairy tale, because we know it. We've seen this like 40 times, so how are you going to add something new? Well, the way they do it is Kay Cannon is the writer-director of this. If you don't know her name... Okay, you do know her name.
Yeah, well, this already changes my mind about whether we needed it or not.
Exactly, because Kay Cannon she's behind the Pitch Perfect movies. She was a writer on 30 Rock, and under Tina Fey, really honed her style and her comedic chops. And that's the first thing that I noticed about this movie, because I sat down to watch it, and I'm like, okay, it basically was my arms folded and said, impress me. And it did. It's specifically the writing and the humor of it, because Kay Cannon is very sharp and very smart, so you see that throughout. But also, Camila Cabello is a surprise in how funny she is. She can deliver a line, and she's great. And so you take all of that, and you take the story and you update it to where the Cinderella character, she's not waiting for a prince to rescue her. She wants to rescue herself out of her terrible life by becoming a businesswoman. She wants to make dresses and start a dress line. And so that kind of updates it as well. It's a very modern feminist take on the story, and I think it changes it just enough where you go, okay, this is at least, there's a reason behind why they did this.
Oh, man, it actually sounds good now. Jason, thank you so much. 2 good movies to check out this weekend.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The August jobs report is out, and the Labor Department says the economy added just 235,000 jobs in August. The unemployment rate dropped to 5.2% from 5.4% in July. Fire crews have been taking advantage of decreasing winds to battle that wildfire near Lake Tahoe. The fire has burned more than 200,000 acres. It's 27% surrounded. And utility officials say power should be restored to almost all of New Orleans by Wednesday. Meanwhile, no word on when the power will be restored to the parishes east and south of New Orleans, which were hit by winds of up to 100 miles per hour or more during Hurricane Ida. We're checking out some trouble on the 14 next.
Hey, Gary, how are things?
Things are great, but I crushed my mortgage payment with owning without even leaving my couch. I got a no closing cost refi at a great low rate, and owning did it all in less than 3 weeks. It was easy, no muss, no fuss.
Be like Gary. Call Owning at 855-5-OWNING and crush your mortgage payment with today's 30-year fixed refi at 2.625% rated APR with no closing costs. None. Zero. Even if you've refinanced recently, call 855-5-OWNING and let us crush your monthly payment even more. That's 855-5-OWNING or log on to owning.com.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, subject to credit approval. Call 823-852-6464 for terms and conditions.
You can crush it too with a 30-year fixed 2.625% rate in APR with absolutely no closing costs.
Providing scalable HR services, employee benefits, payroll, and HR technology for 30-plus years. Insperity's mission is to help businesses succeed so communities prosper. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Visit Insperity.com.
We should have some partly sunny skies by this afternoon with highs in the 80s and 90s inland. This report brought to you by Insperity. Let's head to the 14 in Palmdale.
You betcha. Actually, over the 14 is what I want to warn you about if you're driving through Palmdale. Actually, north is South 14. Palmdale Boulevard overpass. That's where sheriffs have been summoned. There's some activity up there, a little concern. So just be careful. If that turns into a freeway incident, we'll let you know. I'm hearing some activity around Avenue S right now. So again, just be careful. Now we'll go down to East LA, the North 5, Santa Ana Freeway, and around the Garfield Atlantic, Telegraph off. I'm sure you know what I mean if you drive that every day. But unfortunately, it's stall in lanes. It's getting slower and slower coming up from the 605 in the city of Orange. Now, this is a long-claim problem. Sadly, another fatal crash we've got to tell you about, but it's North 55 before Catella. Now the carpool, 2 left are blocked. At least the right lanes are open. The whole freeway was shut down for a while. But using the North 57, even Tustin Avenue will help you out. And South 101, the Hollywood Freeway, still a problem. A little bit south of Vermont is where the issue was. So kind of slow coming down from Sunset Boulevard. KFI in the sky, get you there faster. I'm Jeff Baugh.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentLawyer.com.
Tired of the BS? We spent $500,000 at risk. Result, $8 million for leg-injured motorcyclists.
iAccidentLawyer.com.
Dental Skin Esquire. Results may vary. No guarantee.
Should kids and teens get the COVID-19 vaccine?
Is it safe for my daughter?
Have they been thoroughly tested?
Will my grandson be okay if he gets vaccinated? He's still developing.
The short answer to all these questions? Yes. The COVID-19 vaccine is proven to be safe and effective for ages 12 and up. Add a COVID-19 vaccine to your child's back-to-school checklist. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a walk-in option or make an appointment. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Election Day for the California gubernatorial recall is September 14th, 2021. Every active registered voter will receive a vote-by-mail ballot, so check your mailbox. Answer the 2 questions on your ballot and put the completed ballot into your prepaid postage return envelope. And don't forget to sign the back. You can return your ballot through the mail, at a ballot drop box, or at your local polling place or vote center. Learn more at vote.ca.gov.
Contractor license 1047-781.
Imagine running a marathon in the desert in the summer. And this marathon doesn't have a finish line. In this marathon, you run till you drop. It's called the Air Conditioner Marathon. In places like Minneapolis or Portland, or any of them other places where it don't get real hot, air conditioners can last 20 years or more. But down here where birds burst into flames in midair and fall down fully roasted from the skies, Zach, yeah? What are you doing? I'm helping people understand this ain't important. Here in the desert, air conditioners last about 11 years. But you don't have to spend money on a snowblower, or salt for that icy sidewalk, or windshield de-icer for your car. Zach, I don't think they need any of those things in Portland. Did I say Portland? I meant to say Minneapolis. A new AC from Kettle will keep your home cooler and use a lot less energy. So if you think your AC might be about ready to go to air conditioner heaven, call Gettle. G-O-E-T-T-L. Will keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
Gavin Newsom's report card. Education, 41st in the nation. Gasoline, highest in the nation. Sales tax, highest in the nation. Income tax, highest in the nation. Homeless, highest in the nation. Oh, and one of the first states in the nation to end cash bail. With his appalling record, Gavin Newsom couldn't get a busboy's job at the French Laundry restaurant. It's time for a change, because returning Gavin Newsom to office again and again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. In this most critical election, your vote for Larry Elder will help make that monumental change. Bring California back to its deserved glory and take its rightful place at the head of the class.
ElectElder.com.
Ad paid for by Elder for Governor 2021.
We've got you covered, America. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris, and we'll cover your electric bill. Semper Solaris is your local veteran-owned solar and battery storage contractor. Add Tesla Powerwall and be ready for blackouts. We get the job done with esprit de corps and honor. Semper Solaris offers new AC systems with a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. We hire vets and give back to the community with our Semper Cares initiative. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris, and we'll cover your electric bill. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Get the federal 26% solar and battery tax credit. $500 off for military, first responders, and healthcare workers. Call 877-211-5591. That's 877-211-5591. Or visit SemperSolaris.com. With minimum purchase of 10 panels, up to $500 paid toward electric bill. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Expires 9/30/2021. CSLB number 978-152.
Win your way to our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Coming live to iHeartRadio stations across America and streaming free on the CW app and CWTV.com. You'll see Billie Eilish, Cheap Trick, Coldplay, Dua Lipa, Finneas, Florida Georgia Line, J. Cole, Journey, Khalid, Little Baby, Maroon 5, Nelly, Sam Hunt, Weezer, and more. Listen every weekday to win your way there.
Hot dogs are said to shorten a healthy lifespan by 36 minutes each, while a serving of nuts could increase it by 26 minutes. So just eat nuts with your hot dog.
And you'll only lose 10 minutes. So is there some kind of scoreboard you can buy? How many bacon breakfasts did I have to take about 5 years off?
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
That's a fun life. I'd like to know those people.
On KFI.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It is the Bill Handel Show. He is recovering from heart surgery. The morning crew is here. And we're going to have this 988 number. You have 911. You have 311. And now you're going to have 988. 988 will be the number to call for a mental health crisis. In California, we have 13 call centers under the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline System. That is where a 988 call will go, and you will get the help that you need, except there's no money for it yet. They estimate they need $50 million in order to implement. And then, of course, I don't know if this is, I assume this is $50 million a year, because you have to have staff, and you have to have systems to tie in the 988 system with the 911 system. So they need many millions of dollars to make it happen, and we don't really have the money yet. There is a bill called AB 988, and it would raise your phone bill. I don't have a landline. I don't care. Sorry, it's going to be on your mobile bill too. It does cap the fee that could be put onto your phone bill at 80 cents per line per month. And that's the money that would be used to support the infrastructure and the staffing in order to support these call centers. The telecommunications industry doesn't really like it. The California Cable and Telecommunications Association said they oppose it because they don't oppose a small fee, perhaps 10 cents per line, to pay just for the 988 system, but they say this will require their customers to pay for a bunch of other stuff too. The bill itself is stalled. It has not even been heard in some of the committees that have to hear it and approve it for it to get anywhere. And I just have one question. Hasn't the governor been crowing about this massive amount of money that we have? This robust surplus in the billions and billions of dollars?
Come on.
We can't just take $50 million out of that and make this happen? We have to throw $100 billion at homelessness, even though that money doesn't seem to be getting us $100 billion worth of improvement, but he can't find $50 million? We got to once again make one of your costs of living go up when supposedly we're swimming in money? I like the idea of it. It's not really in the scope of a state government's budget like California. $50 million isn't something to argue about too much, I think. And yet, it's being argued about. Let's get a news update from Layla Muhammad, and then Dr. Jim Keeney will join us. There's a new COVID variant. There's also a really interesting new potential treatment for COVID. This is Kfi Am 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
It somehow would not surprise us if we went shopping on Tuesday and saw Christmas decorations.
Liberty.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Hotel food over gang activity. I'm Layla Muhammad, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Officials in L.A. are offering help to people dealing with gang activity near their homes.
L.A. City Attorney Mike Feuer has filed a lawsuit against the owners of the Palos Verdes Inn in San Pedro. He says that they are allowing gang activity to take place.
With gun violence and rampant drug sales.
His office is cracking down on businesses allowing gang activity and wants people who see it happening in their neighborhoods to reach out.
You can have an anonymous way of reporting to us if you wish. I want to assure that you are protected if you report this kind of activity.
Blake Trolley, KFI News.
One person has been killed and at least 5 others hurt in a high-speed chase that ended in a multi-car crash in Koreatown. The LAPD says officers with the Human Trafficking Task Force were working on a case last night. They tried to pull over a car to question the people inside, but the car took off. Police chased after that car. The car crashed into 3 others. The driver of a pickup who had nothing to do with the chase was killed in the accident. The families of 8 Marines and a sailor who drowned in a training accident near San Clemente have sued a company they say is responsible.
The servicemen were trapped at the bottom of the ocean last year when an amphibious assault vehicle suddenly took on water. The lawsuit claims BAE Systems knew that if the AAV sunk, no one could escape alive because the cargo hatch doors were so hard to open, the handle sometimes had to be hit with